Don't forget the microphone as well, please. One? Yes, thank you.
Hello. Good. Alrighty, so we are team 3. Our needed statement is pretty self-explanatory. A way to accurately identify early cardiovascular changes in at-risk adults through non-clinic based monitoring that enables early detection and reduces the likelihood of acute interventions. So what's the problem? The problem is lots of cardiovascular changes, which is kind of for risky adults that go undetected without symptoms. And when there is some kind of in-clinic tools may kind of detect those things, but it's too late. So that's the big problem which we are struggling to narrow down. And to find out the population, as you can see, at-risk adults, and what do we mean by at-risk adults? I am a at-risk adults because I am over 40, I have over-anxiety, I have so much stress, less money in the bank account. So all of those are kind of population. And that definitely give us a kind of reasonable chunk of the population. So we are pretty satisfied with that population. And what essentially we are trying to achieve as an outcome. So early detection of cardiovascular changes, which will reduce the likelihood of acute intervention, like heart attacks, strokes, or emergency hospitalization. That could be kind of mitigated if we can effectively implement this solution. So it will also enabling monitoring outside of clinics for better accessibility and proactive care. So it's kind of twofold things. First thing is kind of prediction, and then kind of mitigate the risk as well as and monitoring. We have also tried to find some existing versus gap. So there are kind of few existing approaches in the market. For example, ECG, but the limitation is that it's not predictive enough. It's kind of only for clinic things, but we are looking for non-clinic as well as a home-based things. There are blood pressure cuffs, but it's using a very small amount of factor, like single parameter. There are lipid things, which is intermittent. There are some wearables, but accuracy is not so much satisfied. Imaging as well, but our opportunity comes from those limitations and constraints, which is kind of continuous and home-based cardiovascular monitoring. And it will not only use the blood pressure, it will also include heart rate variability, vascular stiffness, etc. Early alerts before symptom appear, that should be a game-changing, we believe, if we can achieve those stages. And accessible and proactive care is another thing which will definitely reduce the load of the healthcare system as well. So that's, in a nutshell, our needed statement. Thank you.
Okay, any questions?
Have you, through like the continuous home-based monitoring, at least in our interviews, something that's come up a lot is with these systems, they generate massive amounts of data. Have you thought about, or at least talked about, how are you going to go around that?
Yeah, there's definitely a new scope, we would say, because where there is some problem, that will give some opportunity. So we definitely will think about it, how can we optimize the big data using cloud and other things, and also a quick dashboard or that sort of things, so that they don't get lost within the big data domain or something. So that could be a new opportunity of business as well. So we have also considered that thing as a next step at some stage, yeah.
Yep. How might you approach some of the, I guess, inconsistencies in the way that monitoring is measured? So, for example, blood pressure cuffs are currently not very consistent when it's done at home. What about the kind of the form factor / way to make monitoring useful and consistent?
So blood pressure curve is giving us some single, it's using one data point, and there are also some biomarker as well. So we'll try to kind of collaborate different parameters, not only on single data point or entity, and definitely we'll try to find a sweet spot, or how can we take the maximum after kind of discounting the trade-off, positive, negative. So that's definitely something at implementation stage or something, but that's a good call out, I would say, and we will take the feedback as a positive one.
Sorry if I missed this, but is it going to be like a D to C kind of model,
So D2C.
like direct to consumer, or is it going to go through clinicians?
Our initial idea is kind of clinic based. So
Sorry?
clinic based, clinician, yeah. So kind of, it should be a kind of routine checkup for all of the patients who are within this cohort, so that we can acquire a big or reasonable amount of patients rather than a specific patient based. And also we have learned that these things has a trust issue. So we believe that if we target the clinics or clinicians and the advice come from them, that would give us some more feasibility as well as, rationality.
Okay, we'll have to move on now, but thank Team 3. You know who's next? So that...